Hi all, welcome to Acharya Coding School. So in this class we can discuss about the shell scripting continuation. So in the previous classes we have discussed about how to write the script and how to execute the script and how to write the echo commands using how to print the type and how to print the user details. So we have discussed and taken the user input. So we have discussed each concept in detail. So in this class we can discuss some advanced concept in the shell scripting. So we are using like some conditional statements. So we have some conditional statements, if else, loops, and functions. So we can discuss each component in this class in detail. So this mainly allows us to make some decision. So the if else statement what here we are doing. So if for example if you have given the number as 5. In generally what we are doing in C language or Java, you have learned, right? So if A and you can give also B as 6. So if A is greater than B or not, so we can find out A is greater than B or not. So we have to check. So here A is greater than B, no, right? So then our script will not give any output. So if A is greater than B, or if we can give or A is less than B, means now our script will be executed, or else we can give like else, then our script will be executed. So here else will be executed, same as like in conditional statements we are using. So we have like a different types of loops for loop, for each loop. So different types of loops. So which we are using for the repetition purpose. So if you want to print 10 numbers, so instead of printing all the variables, all the 10 numbers, we are using the concept of loops for the repetition purpose. And we have like a functions. For reusability purpose, we are using. So before jumping into these concepts, so we can discuss some concepts which are necessary for you. Let us go to the so we have in real world shell scripting, we have some modes for executing. We have set -x, so which is for the debug mode for execution purpose. So when you enable the set -x in the inside our shell script, then the commands are already like every shell script execute. So before the terminal runs, it automatically printed on the terminal. So this mainly to understand the script flow and debugging the issues. Let us try to execute the debug mode in the commands. For this, we need to connect our Linux machine. Let us try to execute this command. We have stopped our instance. Let us start our instance. So once it is done, so let us try to execute one shell script using the debug mode. What we are now to do? So we need to create one shell script. So for example, you can give debug.sh. So inside the shell script, we need to follow shebang bin bash. So after executing this bin bash, we need to turn on the debug mode. So for those, we need to provide the set-x. So this is tells the shell script turn on the debug mode. So then you can execute the command whatever you want. So for example, if you want to name your Sirisha, if you want to print your name. So then echo hello. You need to provide the tool for printing those name. So let us try to save this command. So then we need to execute this script. So in the debug mode itself, it is showing. So for example, if you see here, we have provided the name as Sirisha and we are typing her name. So in the debug mode itself, it clearly showing what we are typing. So this means here we are putting the CCTV on our script. So you can see exactly what it's doing. So instead of like normal scripting, so we are doing the debug mode for seeing what happens inside our shell script. And we have another command set minus e. So which we are using for the exit immediately. Then we are getting error. So this means our script automatically will exit from our shell script when we get any error. So it mainly forces our script to stop our execution immediately if your command returns a non-zero status error. So this mainly we are using for an unpredictable behavior. So let us execute this command. So here any name you can login.sh, random name you can give whatever. So insert more tada bin slash bash. So once it is done, we need to provide the set hyphen e. So once it is done, then we need to what we are doing now. So we want to print any statement. Echo Linux classes. And we can type any wrong command like this. So let us try to execute this. Great. So here we can see that the previous command which we have typed as welcome to Linux classes. After that which we have typed command as wrong command. So it is showing the command is not found. Let us try to do this command in detail. So once we are logging, so to know its difference, echo welcome to Acharya coding school. So now let us observe this. So here if you see here, the second command is not executing. Once if you say login to the and login, so here the second command will not execute. So if you are getting any error, so there itself our execution will be stopped, forcefully stopped immediately. So if you are getting working in a production, so if any critical errors we are getting, so any critical step fails, so we don't want to rush off the script to continue to blindly write. So that's why we are forcefully executing the exiting from the script when we are getting any errors. And we have another mode for set hyphen o pipe fail. So it's mainly using for the catching errors in pipe. So this mainly using for hidden errors when you are executing our script. So without any pipeline fails, we are executing the script. So we have the pipeline symbol, you already know. So this is the symbol for the pipeline. So when you use the pipeline, for example, if you want to type two commands, so if you want to give not like this, top and as well as echo top. If you want to execute these both two commands. Here by default it's see only bash only. So it's written the exist on the last command. So if this command is fails, so but another won't execute. It mainly we are using for the ensure our pipelines return the existing status. So if the first command is failed. So let us try to execute this command. Pipe fail. Not essential. You can give whatever you name you want. It's not a mandatory. But the shebang is mandatory for shell script. Then you can give the set -e. So once it is done, you need to work on the this. So you can give the as step 1. And you can, if you want to print something. For example, type any random name, non-existing directory. Grep. You want to filter. Grep is using for the printing purpose. So we are from the list of non-existing directories. We need to filter the ABC. Echo step 2. So here, once we executed this script, so once it is done, we need to execute this script. Now see. So here what it is showing, so it cannot access to non-existing directory because there is no file such a directory. So if you see here, ls is failed, but the grep which we are using is succeeded. So we are continuing the script. Now let us try to execute these commands, if, loops and functions and everything. Let's go to our instance mission. So why we are using the loops, functions and what they are doing? So because if else mainly we are using for the decision purpose. So let our script choose between the which based upon the conditions which we have provided. And let us try to execute one shell script using the if else. If and if else also we can do. For example, if we see here from the file of etc password, so which the condition we are providing. So the if statement what here doing, it checking the condition, and if it is a true means it will execute. If it is a false means then it will not execute. So it will show us file as missing. for ending the statement, we need to provide the F5 in the if loop. So let us try to execute this command. Yeah, precision. Type any random name. Now dash. So once it is done, so we are executing our pipeline. We need to provide the condition. Just I am showing syntax now, then we can execute the command later. So then if else we need to provide, right? Then after we need to provide for else if we are doing with elif. So it is checking the other condition as well. So we need to close the braces. Then we need to provide the else if else. Then for ending the our execution, we need to provide the F5. So this is the our recommended bash scripting which we are using. So if for example, if the condition means, so for example, if it is raining outside, then you will bring umbrella. So if it's not raining means you will not bring umbrella, right? So as like else if means, so we are using the condition. So if it is cloudy means you can take a jacket, and else or else like if it is not cloudy or else like the cloudy, the temperature is normal, then you can enjoy the sun. So we are following the flowchart like true false condition. So now let us try to execute this script. Let us wait a minute. So we need to, for example, if you want to decision purpose. So for example, if the condition. So the condition must be in the braces. For example, if you have entered number, echo, we are typing the input from the system. So we are taking the user input. So after execution of script, we need to provide the input. So we need to provide the internal number. So once it is done, we need to read the number which we have provided. Then we need to provide the conditions. What conditions we are providing? So if the number is greater than. So here greater than symbol we are providing in the integer component in the form of GT we are providing. So let us take greater than 10. Then we need to print as echo statement. For printing purpose, we are using the echo. Number is greater than 10. Or else, if the number is not greater than 10 means, it will print echo number is less than or equal to 10. Then we need to, for ending, what we need to do? We need to provide the F5 statement. So, just execute the script. We need to provide the chmod plus X. We need to provide the space. Dot slash followed by decision dot sh. So we need to provide the enter. So we can give the number as 15. So here the number is greater than 15. So here it's how we have executed the script. So we have provided the number is 10. So here if we are provided 50, 15 is greater than 10. So that's why it is showing us number is greater than 10. This is how we are going to execute using the if statement, if else. So for example, for equal, we need to provide different types of symbols. For example, if it is an equal, we need to provide equal. If it is an not equal means we need to provide as NA means not equal. Provide LT means less than. If we provide greater than means greater than. If we provide LE means less than. Equal to or not equal to for strings we are using in this way in the Linux in the shell script. So let us execute loops as well. So we have like a different types of loops: for loop, while loop, until loop. So we can execute each and every one in detail. Let us go to our mission. So the loops why we are using, because if you are doing with any repetitive task, so with a fixed number of times. So instead of doing each one by step in detail, so in the form of loops we are using. So we are using for the repetition purpose. Yeah. Message. So once it is done, we need to provide the for I in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9. So update this is enough. Then we need to give the do. Then we need to print the echo. We need to provide the number. So which are the execution we need to provide the as I. So for a equal to we provide, right. So in the form of equal to we are providing as in. So once it is done, then we need to provide the for do we need to end with the done. So once it is done, we need to execute this script. So once it is done, so so now if you see the numbers are right printed. So we can execute the while loop as well. So it returns if while condition is true. So we are using the we need to provide the scripting loop.sh. Type any random name here. Not a name is mandatory. Bin slash bash. So once it is done, we need to provide the. For example, if you want to count in our, for example, if count is greater than or not, count is less than 5, or else like that, any random. So if you want to provide the count is less than 5 or not, so we can take the variable from the input, take the input from our system, or else like you need to provide. We are providing the input here. Then we need to provide the while loop. Count is less than 5. Then we need to do that. Do echo so we are doing with the for increment purpose. We are doing, incrementing the count. So if the count is less than 5 means it will the script is executed. If the count is not less than 5 means automatically the execution will be stopped. So for incrementing purpose we are using this command. Then we need to provide the done. So once it is done, we can save. So if you see here, the count is until the count is less than 5, it is executed. Once the it reach our execution is stopped. And in that we have the commands like until loop. So until loop we are using for the until our condition becomes true. Let us try to execute this one as well. So here I am until dot sh. To provide insert. Then slash my bash number is equal to 1. Then until. So we need to check if our number is greater than 5 means we need to executing our script. If it is not greater than 5 means it automatically runs false. Until the execution is done, our script will execute. So while we are using run only when it is true. Until means run when false. So let us check this command. Do echo number is number. So we are printing the number. So once it is done, we need to now plus done. So let us try to execute this script now. So it is showing us the number is missing. So it mainly runs only our execution is false. So it will go in. So it's incrementing. We are providing the number plus plus minus. So that's why it's obviously it's incrementing without any limit. So now let us discuss the functions. So we are dealing with the functions in shell script. So it's mainly functioning for greeting. So you are providing the functions. So mainly the functions why we are using, because to make our code modular and reusable. So here if you take greet is the function name which we are providing. So this is the argument which we are providing, $1 means the argument which we have passed to our function. Let us try to execute this and check. So here function dot sh. Once it is done, we need to provide bash. We need to provide the function greet echo. We need to provide the print. Hello. We are providing the argument. So we are providing the one argument for passing over into the function. So once it is done, we are providing the control shell script. Then greet sedition. Let us try to execute now. Then we can see if we have got any errors. So we are getting some syntax errors. So we need to work on those. In real time also we are dealing with the syntax errors in this way only. So we need to execute if we are getting any errors. We need to debug as well. Now let us see what mistake we have done. So, go to the insert. So here we are getting syntax error. So here we are missing the flower braces. So we have created one function as greet, but you haven't opened the flower braces. So that's why we are getting error. So this mainly we are using for the defining purpose. So now let us so once it is done, so now you are getting output without any errors. This is how we are executing the functions in the shell script. Thank you.